Hey there everyone, Oversoul here. Unfortunately I come to you today with bad news. Steph and I are no longer together, as of Wednesday, this past Wednesday. We, I think, in all honesty, we've kind of slowly been drifting apart over the past few years in small, subtle ways here and there, but ultimately it boils down to her feelings just changed. She decided that, or not so much decided, but like it just, what she wanted from life and everything, um, is different now, and she doesn't think that she doesn't think that it's stuff that I will ever be able to provide. Not that she doesn't have any faith in me, but because of my disabilities and stuff, it puts a big hurdle in my way. So, I mean, you guys are like family to me too, so you deserve details, not intricate details, but details. Basically the way that she put it is that it's because of my financial instability and because I'm not there emotionally enough, like not emotionally supportive enough. I'm not as like, it's hard to explain, but it's like a good example that she said was that she came downstairs one day to talk to me because she was upset about work, and I listened. I sat there and I listened, and I told her I was sorry, but what I should have done was I got up and gave her a hug and told her that I cared and it was going to be all right and stuff like that. And I'm not, sometimes that stuff doesn't click with me immediately like it should. Sometimes I struggle to have that oh duh moment, and I don't know why, but my whole thing is I got diagnosed with PTSD and social anxiety and social phobia and stuff like that. I get Social Security income because of it, only like 700 something a month. And also it makes it difficult for me to, do things like be away from home for too long and stuff like that. And sometimes it makes me not fully grasp certain situations the way that most people would. And I think that's where a lot of the downfall came from. It's not that she's being insensitive to my disabilities or anything, it's just that because she tried, she definitely did. She was understanding of that's how I am because of that stuff. But ultimately, it just boiled down to she's not happy anymore. And it's not my fault. She's not mad at me. She doesn't hate me. She doesn't hold any resentment towards me at all. And she actually feels really bad and really guilty about all this. She didn't want this either. She's also very upset and very hurt. We have both bawled our eyes out over it. It's just that, she just suddenly just didn't love me anymore. And I guess that was building up over a couple of weeks. And it's partially because of these situations that are hard for me to fix because of my disabilities, but they are things that could have been fixed if I was more self-aware, I guess you could say. Because what happened was, once we moved out of Rockford into the new place, some of you'll remember when I did the tour of the new place video, it felt like everything was better for a while. Like, I was genuinely happier. It seemed like she was genuinely happier, and everything seemed fine. And I just got done telling one of my friends last weekend that I was the happiest now that I'd ever been in my entire life. And you know, everything was great, you know. And the other thing is, I just also very recently finally found a medication that works for me when it comes to, you know, the personal things that I deal with. It finally helped. It just, too little too late. But I was under the false impression for a long time that everything was okay. And that is due in part to the fact that both of us were always so afraid of upsetting the other that we didn't communicate very well. To be completely honest with you, we would just hold stuff in or whatever because we didn't want it to turn into an argument or something. And that wasn't good. That wasn't, we shouldn't have done that. But the thing is, she's admitted to me that, you know, it's not really, the things, like, you know, she wants to get married, she wants to have kids and stuff, and she doesn't think that with the Social Security stuff, like, if this YouTube stuff never goes anywhere, which, let's be realistic, it's been a while, I'm getting close to 30, like, this is the point where I have to start asking myself, is this actually ever going to be substantial? And if it's not, then I need to start focusing on something that might be more, you know. But she wants all that stuff, and with the limited amount of income that I get every month, which most of it goes to helping her with bills and house payment and stuff, I don't have anything left except what I need for my medication and content for the channel, so I never am able to save anything because everything has to be spent, and it just, it was going to be a constant loop. Like, we were never going to be able to afford to get married because she didn't want, like, some courthouse wedding. She wanted a real, actual wedding, so, or afford to have kids and stuff like that. But it's just not financially feasible for us at the moment, and we've been together a decade, and it's been that way pretty much the entire time. So I didn't expect it to change anytime soon because my disability is bad enough that this is a long-term thing for me with the Social Security. But with the new medication I'm on, I have more hope and more faith in myself, and I think that I might be able to do well. I actually applied at the GameStop out here because here's the thing, as I know that there are going to be some people who are going to be very upset with her right now, especially because even though it wasn't the main reason and it didn't have a 100% direct impact, there is the matter of, she has a group of friends online on Discord that are better at being emotionally supportive and stuff than I am. And one of them in particular caught feelings for her, and when they found out that she was with someone, they got mad and stopped talking to her for a while, but then they became friends again, and they'd grown close for over a while. And I think some people, a lot of third parties, both, you know, friends and family on both sides, thought it was weird. And I know that a lot of them are going to look at this situation and immediately draw that into it as being the reason. But I just wanted to let people know that this isn't a, we don't want this to end on a bad note, basically. Both of us care a lot about the people that we met through each other, and we'd like to hold on to those relationships if we could. And we don't want this to end on a bad note. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a mutual breakup, because I definitely didn't want it to happen. She didn't really want it to happen either, but, like, I mean, she told me she struggled for a long time to figure out a way to do this because it was so hard. So, I don't mean long time like years and years, but I mean like it's been a few weeks, I think. But the thing is, I mean, I still love her, and it's going to take a long time for me to get fully over it, but, especially because I basically, my whole life is being turned upside down, my entire reality shattered. I have to pack up and move everything that I know and start over. And especially after I finally thought that I found home after a life of constantly moving around. But the thing is, the thing I really want to emphasize here is that we want to stay friends. We don't hate each other. We don't hold any ill will towards each other. There's no resentment here. I still care about her. She still cares about me. And right now, we're basically roommates. And for the longest time, it's been to the point, I guess, part of as of us drifting apart, that we, kind of just did our own thing all the time, you know? She'd come home from work and get online and play the computer games with her friends or watch Netflix and stuff, and I'd, after a long day of cleaning or recording videos, I'd relax and either work on editing stuff or playing video games, watching TV, whatever. She was upstairs, I was down here. And I think us only having like one date night every night and, you know, not really spending more time together than that, being in separate parts of the house, it just didn't help. We'd been engaged for a long time, but I think lately we just kind of grew into roommates. And that's basically what we are now, because she's not making me leave yet. Basically I live in the whole downstairs section of the house now, and so she's given me time to figure my stuff out, figure out a place to go and stuff. And what helps is, I guess not everyone knew this, I don't know if I ever really said anything, but my mom had actually been staying with us for a while in the guest room because the trailer that she lived in was no longer inhabitable. It's just, it got badly water damaged or something, and the place was just falling apart. So she's got some work lined up, and it'll be, I may have to, if she finds a place, I'll probably move in with her for a while, and then, until I can figure out something and go out on my own. So, again, and whatnot. I already applied at the local GameStop out here. I'm thinking, they don't seem super busy except on early releases and stuff, so I think it's something that wouldn't screw with me too much, especially with my new medication. And I like video games, and I'm very knowledgeable about all of the different systems, so that would help. So I guess the part like I said, what I really want to emphasize is that this is not, we don't want this to end on a bad note. We want to stay friends. We're basically just roommates now, and aside from the fact that we're not together anymore, nothing is really changing. I'm still living here for the moment, and we're still going about doing our own things every day. She goes to work. I'll still, clean the place up because I still live here, I'm not going to live in a mess. So I don't want people to think that I'm still, like, doing it as a, like, because, you know, she works and I stay home thing, you know, even though we're not together anymore. I'm doing it because I live here too, and, you know, I'm not a slob. I pick up after myself. You know, for now. Anyways, so nothing is really changing. I'm still gonna have my same routine, except that right now even though I may not seem like it, because I'm sure I seem a lot calmer than you'd probably expect me to be at the moment, but that's because I am so used to disappointment and failure in life that this is something I was always afraid was going to happen, specifically because of my disabilities. And kind of like when Callie passed away, I think at one point or another I pre-grieved this, but we definitely have both been crying a lot these past couple of days. So maybe I'm just drained. But also, I went through the 5 stages of grief already, basically. Like now, even though I still hate it and it's hard to believe it's real, it still feels like a fever dream. I know that what happened has happened, and there's no changing it. I think she just got tired of waiting for these things to change, and she admitted that it's not all me. It's not entirely my fault that I am that way. It's just the way I was conditioned by the things that happened to me in life, the abuse that I went through, and the disabilities I have. So she doesn't blame me. It's not my fault. It's just that I think as she grew older, she changed, and I'm just not her type anymore. Not like maybe in a physical sense or whatever, but also like just because of the things that she wants in life. She basically, I don't think she doesn't want to be with someone that she basically has to take care of, and that's what it turned into. And again, she doesn't blame me. She's not mad at me. Holds no resentment. It's just one of those things that just happened, you know. Sometimes it's not completely unheard of for people to be in a relationship and one day they just don't love who they're with anymore. But like I said, things are ending on a good note. She's giving my mom and I as much time as we need within reason to figure out what we're going to do, save up some money, and find a place or whatever. And I really don't want to go back to Rockford, so I'm going to try to find something out here, which is weird. Why would you stay in the town that your ex is in? Because we're not ending it on a bad note, and because I like Freeport. Like, they have everything I need within a 10-minute drive, and if I get a job out here, my mom gets a job out here, it would be ideal to be out here and not in, 45 minutes away. So there's that. But, like I said, besides the fact that we're not together anymore, nothing really changed. The daily routine is still the same. And I think after I've had some time to process all this and, and deal with it emotionally, I'll eventually start to feel better. The thing is, though, with YouTube, I'm going to need at least a week away from this for now. There is a 50-50% chance on whether or not I actually come back, and when I do, it's going to be toned down a little bit, I think. Like, I may have to cut out live streams to compensate, because that means I'm going to have to spend more time on Tuesdays and Thursdays recording. And if I spend a lot of time recording on Thursdays, then I don't have any energy for the live stream later that night. So I may have to cut live streams out of the schedule to slow down the amount of content flow so that I can spend more time looking for more substantial work and stuff. And I think even if I do find a job and stuff, I'll still try to keep this going in some form or another if I feel up to it, maybe. It's just that things may slow down a lot if that, when that becomes the case. But it's also entirely possible if you find like a house to rent or something, which would be ideal so that I can still do this. My bedroom would also be the recording room at that point, but if we can find like a house to rent or something, then that will be I could still, maybe if my mom is working and I'm on the Social Security, we could still afford it that way until I can find work. But I think ideally, I think I would actually like to find work now. I'm at that point in my life where I think I'm ready to move forward with that stuff. And it's not just because of this. I've been thinking about this for a while. There have been multiple times where I thought to myself, like, damn, I'm almost 30, like, and I'm still trying to get this to become successful. It's starting to get kind of sad and desperate. Like, I may need to actually bite the bullet and find a real job. Or a real job, as the, you know, the judgy people would call it. But, if I do, I would prefer it be somewhere like a GameStop or something, where I can at least be around stuff that I enjoy, and that'll make it a little less insufferable. So, I know that they have the stigma and whatnot, but, you know, whatever. I'd get a discount on video games, too, so it'd help to keep the channel going. I will say that I definitely appreciate that she is making this such an easy transition, because she truly does care about me. In fact, still, like, since I'm downstairs now, she actually, like, bought me, last night, a big, like, thick, like, almost $100 air mattress and sheets and stuff to go with it. Like, she doesn't want to see me suffer. She doesn't want to, you know, it's not about that. This wasn't ideal, you know, and I think she still loved me when we moved in here. I think it changed after the fact, you know. It just became, it's been almost a year since we moved in and nothing's really changed, and I think that was just the breaking point for her, you know, because now that we moved in, now that we have a house, she started thinking about things like marriage and kids, and realizing that if I continue to just live on Social Security, that stuff will never happen. And I understand. If you want those things, you can't stay with someone who's going to hold you back from what you really want, what will really make you happy. But this was not an easy decision on her part, by any means. This wasn't, she didn't just wake up one day and decide, mwahahaha, I'm going to dump him. It wasn't about that. This was like, she argued with herself for a long time, I think, about it. So, it's not, the breakup isn't mutual, because it's not, I didn't want it to happen, and I'm still having a hard time fully accepting it. But the understanding of why we're breaking up is mutual. We both did things here and there that I think slowly just pushed each other away. We got on each other's nerves too much. Couples have arguments, but ours got bad, and it was just, I'm not happy about it. She's not happy about it, but I think we both realized that in the end, this might actually be what's best, you know? In all honesty, in hindsight, I don't think we were the greatest for each other. And we didn't have a whole lot in common, either. I mean, we liked a lot of the same things, but that's about where it started and ended, so, I have talked for a long time, but you can expect that to happen with stuff like this. Anyways, back to the YouTube stuff. I'm going to take a week break, minimal. Minimum a week. So, that means there'll be no videos at all next week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Then the following week, we'll see how I feel after that, after I've had some time to step away, take a break, and collect my thoughts and emotions. But, like I said, we may have to cut back on some stuff so that I can take the time to figure out what I'm going to do next in life. You know, some people might think it's weird that I would still be living here and stuff, but like I said, we still care about each other, you know? We're, like, still friends and stuff. We're not mad. We're not, you know, like, I've had breakups before where those people, like, after they broke up with me, they were like, go fuck yourself, you know, and then cut all contact, but that's not this. This This is different. This is simultaneously one of the hardest and easiest breakups I've ever had. It's so weird, hard to explain, but I'm sure someone out there understands where I'm coming from. It's extremely hard because we were together for a decade, and I still love her. I do, but it's also easy because she's making it easy, and I really appreciate that. Hell, I don't even feel like I deserve that, to be honest, but, and that's another thing that makes it hard. It's all just a big loop. Yeah. Anyways, I should probably put an end to this now. You guys get the point. I don't want anybody, like, in the comments or anything saying anything negative or nasty. That's why I wanted to emphasize that this is a very civil breakup. It's not a dramatic one or on a bad note. This is very civil, you know. Not many people would break up with someone and still let them and their mom live with them until they can figure themselves out. Like, it's you know, she's not a bad person. It's just that what she wanted out of life changed, and I can't give that to her because of the limitations in my way at the moment. Maybe in the future I would have been able to, but, you know, I can understand why she wouldn't want to wait any longer after it's already been 10 years. So, I will disable the comments if I have to. Don't make me do that, please. If you have something very pointed to say, please bring it to me directly, because the only people that would really be able to have any experienced opinions on this situation would be those who are familiar with us personally, so they have ways of contacting me. But there'll be a lot of you seeing this who don't know her personally, and I just wanted to let you know that she doesn't deserve to be slandered, so please don't. Because we want this to be a civil, good, you know, not good-natured. There's no such thing as a good-natured breakup, but we want it to be civil and not on really bad terms, you know. This is, like I said, it's not a mutual breakup, but it's a mutual understanding of the breakup. So, and I definitely fought for it. I held on to a lot of false hope yesterday, hoping that when she got home and we'd be able to talk more, that it would be fine again, but her mind was made up. So, and that's when I just had to accept it. But, her still being willing to help out and stuff is definitely making it an easier transition, you know. And, she just wants people to know that, people that will probably be mad at her because of this, she just wants them to know that she still cares about them. So, just like she still cares about me. This isn't, like I said, this isn't a, God, I'm just repeating myself now, but you get the point. So yeah. Oh, now that we're at the end of this, like I said, expect no videos this next week. I need some time. I need time. I may still upload to my No Commentary and Final Fantasy channels because those videos are unedited for the most part and have no commentary, so it's not really any work. It's just pressing a button and then pressing a button. So, so that'll be cool, but you know, and I still, you know, I'm gonna do that to, like, keep my mind busy and, you know, help myself, you know, feel better about all this and stuff. You know, Final Fantasy games are like comfort food for me, so so that'll help me keep myself distracted, but I can't mentally and emotionally put any effort into anything with commentary right now. I just don't have it in me. You would not get quality content out of me at the moment because I have no motivation. So we'll see coming up the week, the week after, how I feel. After I've taken a week off, at least, we'll see how I feel after that. And then, I'll update you guys on whether or not I'm going to keep going with the channel altogether. Like I said, there's a 50-50 chance, and I don't necessarily want to quit, but, I'm just trying to look at things realistically. If I struggle with this too much, or, if I find work where I have to work a lot, then we may have to start getting realistic about this. But until that time comes, I can at least try to keep going. So, like I said, we'll see how I feel in a week. I'll let you guys know. Chances are, there's a pretty good chance I'll keep going, because deep down I still want to. It's just, we're going to see how I feel. I may need longer than a week, and may come back to it after that, but just give me a week for now, and I'll update you guys again next week. Let you know how I feel and what my plan is. And also, episode 5 of Kingdom Hearts 3 is still coming out tonight, like later tonight. It's still rendering right now. It took forever because I was late on editing it, obviously because of all this going on. The first thing I was ready to do was give up on everything. So once I started feeling a little bit better, I worked on editing it to keep myself distracted, and it's rendering now, and it'll be out later tonight. That'll be the last video I put out until later in April, basically, when I update you guys again on what's going on. So anyways, that's it for this update. Thank you all for your understanding and everything. If you have the ability to reach out to me personally, please feel free to do so. I welcome any and all messages that you want to send me. If you have any questions, I can definitely answer them. Because I got pretty personal on here, but I didn't get extremely detailed. There's still a lot that I left out, but what's important is what you know. So, with that being the case, I will see you guys next week in the next update video. Thank you and goodbye.